Hey Ashley,
Hey girl, hey.
how are you doing today?
I'm good, good. How about you?
I'm, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I've been stressed with the state of the world.
Well, yeah,
It
them's
was
the
it was
facts.
it was not fun. It's not fun. And just to let our audience know, we are very much aware of like real life
Yeah.
situations. But we're gonna focus on joy because that is a sign of resistance. But how was your Easter?
Easter was good. I actually had Good Friday off, which was a surprise because I didn't realize or remember that we had Good Friday off the year before, and I pretty much
Yeah.
managed like our holiday calendar at work. So we found out like on Monday or Tuesday. So it was just such a pleasant, like, oh, let's do it. And I basically used it as like a great slow down spring cleaning. I mean, I even got to like do the adulting stuff, like sweep out my garage, like those satisfying adult things that give us
Yes.
such joy, and to have your house sparkling and smelling nice and have,
Mhm.
light your candles. Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
Oh, that's
Loved it.
wonderful.
How was yours?
Um, my Easter was lovely. We kept it very simple. Um, we did an egg hunt around the house, and so it was just really funny hiding eggs in particular places, wondering if my daughter would get it or not. And then, of course, celebrating the resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. So it was a great day. Um, like I said, though, our the I shouldn't say our president, the president of the United States,
Say not mine, baby. Mm-mm.
whew, is unhinged, and I'm not gonna lie, I was stressed out, like making threats on civilians, like it was crazy, Ashley. So
I had a great dinner with an old friend and coworker yesterday who, we talked a bit about just the general state of the world. We talked about the fact neither of us has ever lived in a blue state, all these sorts of things. And she was like, pe- history has shown us and people before us can attest that even in these times of great stress and tragedy and turmoil, people find their joy, you know? And it is important to continue to find that joy. And being on
absolutely.
the mic with you and having great dinner with her. And I'm definitely trying my best to continue to lean into the joy, as I'm sure all of our listeners are as well.
Absolutely. And speaking of like unexpected joy for me, I'm not gonna lie, okay, I'm referring to the NASA mission Artemis II. It is the first time since 1972 NASA is sending humans back on a path towards the moon. Um, and so everybody was talking about the rocket launch last week, and I honestly knew it was happening, but I don't really like watching those live. Okay, I don't. But I was so excited once it was a success, and the social media around it has been quite entertaining, Ashley. Um, so there's four astronauts on this mission. We have Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover. Shout out to him who's the pilot, okay, of the mission. Christina Cook and Jeremy Henson, who is part of the Canadian Space Agency. They're they're on this 10-day mission. And you know, they really caught my attention in particular when they had that moment of silence talking to 45 on the line, acting like they had that disconnection. They're like, are we still connected? Did you see that, Ashley?
No, I missed
Oh,
it.
I sent it to our, there's a million one memes in that with our trio, but I was like, oh my goodness, they are my people. But but yeah, have you been following this mission? Was there anything that was interesting to you on, about it?
I have not been following this mission in particular, but anytime, you got NASA involved and you got, exploration and all these things, I first and foremost want everybody to be safe and get home safely. So I'm glad that there was, no incidents, no issues, things like that going on. Obviously, the ability to get up there and explore and have great photos and do all these things is some of the highlights that we're seeing publicly. But I still have not been out. I lived in Florida for years. I still haven't been out to like the NASA facility that's in Florida. And so that's still been on like my list. I
How
was like, I
far was
lived
that
not far
from
at all. It was
Orlando?
like an hour or less, really, because
Mm-hmm.
it's getting close out to like towards one of the beach areas. And so I've had it on my list. Like when I go back to visit, I'm gonna go and check that out. And yeah, I mean, it's space exploration has a lot of history to it in these United States, and shout out to Hidden Figures. But it's something exciting for sure to continue to hear more about, aliens and all. So
I always think it's interesting because they're, you know, looking on the dark side of the moon. You know what I mean? Somebody was like, "What's the big deal about, you know, uh the dark side of the moon? Isn't it just the same? It looks the same." You know what I mean? But the other thing that was really special about this is there's a viral image going around because the NASA's control room where it was all women. So that made me very excited. And they've had some really, whoever's running their social media has been doing a really great job. So if you go to NASA on Instagram, um, the new photos that are coming out is fantastic. And then they've had some wonderful, heartfelt messages coming from the astronauts themselves on like what, the feeling of like being in space, looking at Earth. You know what I mean? Only so many people have had that vantage point. And
right.
so I thought it was so, so awesome. Um, Again, so many things going on in the world. The other thing I wanted to highlight was the drama between um wonderful Don Stanley and Gino. It was the final four, and South Carolina beat UConn, and Gino lost his sugar honey iced tea. And what I could not get over, and I was like, "Amen, sister." She was like, "I will beat Gino's ass.
Yep. Yep.
Will beat his ass."
Yep. Don't get it twisted.
So I, it's giving temper tantrum on Gino's side. Like, and the fact that they have a history that goes back, like he coached her in like one of the Olympic games, they won gold. So they have like history.
He's just being a sore loser for sure with this
Yes.
incident, but I do love that it brought additional attention to women's basketball.
I
So we'll take
mean,
you a little temper tantrum if it brings some shine. Sure. Bring a little drama so we can get some eyeballs.
I need for him to put some respect on Miss Dawn's name, if you know what I mean.
Hmm. He'll never, I can't imagine he would make this type of mistake again. He was definitely was tripping that day.
And shout out to women's basketball in general because the WNBA and the WNBPA reached a historical agreement where they are increasing their salaries. So, um, just as a general example, for example, Angel Reese was making $75,000. This is laughable, Ashley. Like, and now she'll be eligible for like $350,000. Like, you know what I mean? And she recently got traded from Chicago to ATL. And then shout out to her for her Victoria's Secret um, sponsorship now because she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
But
she walked that runway for the show.
yeah,
But
yes, she
I
did.
meant to go see her in Chicago before she left, before she got traded. But I will go see her in Atlanta. It's all good. But I really wanted to see her with Chicago.
But yeah, so women's sports is doing its darn thing. And, um, you know, South Carolina ultimately did not win. Who actually won the championship? Because I know for men's, um, so who won? Who won? UCLA 2026 champions.
Yeah, Michigan won for the men, correct?
And you are correct. I was just about to say that because that's a big deal for me because that is my very favorite team. So shout out to U of M, Maize and Blue. Let's go. So yeah, fantastic news on that front. A lot of basketball news, a lot of sports. Um, March Madness was something, but I was happy with how everything shook out for the most part. So all right, let's talk about some industry news. So, um, we'll get to um these rom-coms. Okay, so we recently recapped The Materialist. Shout out to us. Look for that recap. It dropped on Tuesday. I'm convinced that A24, anything that they call a rom-com does not actually mean rom-com at all.
Right. Right.
But this upcoming Will Packer film, You Meet in Tuscany, I think might actually scratch our rom com itch. I have much faith in it. But on the press tour, Miss Halle Bailey was talking about how she handled the backlash when she was cast as the Little Mermaid. So we are well documented in discussing how ridiculous people are with just the rude things they had to say about her being cast over a fictional character. And it's like y'all can't get over the fact that it's like, black people can be in fantasy too, you
Yeah.
know?
Utterly ridiculous. Have y'all been under the sea? Have y'all seen mermaids?
Do you talk to animals?
You
You
got
know,
Sebastian hanging out with you at the house, flounder flapping around. What are we saying?
what are we talking about? And at the end of the day, she did a fantastic job. I do think it's one of my favorite live action movies that Disney has done in recent years.
Yep.
And I'm not even saying that just to say it, like she did phenomenal.
I
And
enjoyed the film in and of
the
itself.
film was great. She had great chemistry with Jonah. There was new music from Lemon. Well, Miranda, who is my boy. So to me, it was a good time. A good time was had. But I was really impressed with the women that had reached out to her during her time of need. She said that Zendaya, Ariana Grande, and uh, Rachel Ziegler. She said, as women, I think we formed a little protective bubble around each other, especially as when we see a peer going through lots of opinions. She says sometimes the opinions of people can muddy your own thoughts. So it's special to have a community who's there for you, to say you're amazing and we are here for you. And I was so fascinated by this, Ashley, because Zendaya got it for playing freaking MJ in Spider-Man. People lost it. Rachel Ziegler being a
Snow
lot
White.
Snow White, exactly. Ariana Grande, I don't know. I'm not aware of any backlashes because I was surprised when I found out she was a white woman. She is Italian from New York.
Yeah, but Ariana has dealt with so much tragedy in the public eye.
She has, yes.
I
I'm
have,
teasing y'all, but
yeah,
what
I
I'm
have
trying to
a
say,
special place in my heart for her just with like Mac Miller, the concert that had the
yes,
incident. I just she seemed like such a sweet little person. And when I say little, I
mm,
mean she's a little compact little person.
yeah,
So,
yeah. She's also Miss Still Your Man.
well, I say that as someone who is not in the remote vicinity of any of that. I just mean in terms of like capacity for humanity in a certain extent.
Yeah,
The girl
absolutely.
code stuff I can't speak to. At least she ain't out here stealing her friends' exes and shit.
Woo, child.
What up, Amanda? You still on my shit list, girl.
But it's good to know that Haley had her peers, uh to comfort her and to know that they've gone through the same things and they made it to the other side. She's such a sweetheart. I'm so excited to see her in this film. I'm not gonna lie. I know she's a woman. She's 26 years old, but I'm like, oh, she's gonna be in this movie with reggae. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I doubt it's gonna be too wild though. I cannot imagine
it
it's gonna
won't
be too
be. It won't
wild.
be.
But yeah, she's
Um,
grown. She a mom out
she's a
here.
mom
She
and
grown.
everything. She also did another interview saying that when she's at the park with her son, the little girls are like, Ariel's out here. Where's your tail? Who's this baby? I'm like, that is so adorable. I love it. All right. Speaking of Zendaya, Euphoria had its premiere actually just last night. And yeah, several episodes are available or will be available on HBO once it drops, I believe, on Friday. This is season 3. This this show has had a 4-year hiatus.
Yeah.
What I want to talk about is how Zendaya showed up to that red carpet last and then walked right into her car, like immediately.
That's my type of goings on right there. When I found that out, I said exactly. Cause this was cute. I came. I did my thing. I gave a look,
She gave a look, baby.
and then I
That
gotta
dark
go. I'm
chocolate
busy.
color on her complexion, she looked fabulous, darling.
And I love that she's showing that she's a grown woman these days as
She
well.
is.
Like
She's
these
almost
red
30.
carpet showings these days, she's like, I'm grown. Got that little T tattoo
So
peekaboo on the
cute.
rib.
So cute. Are they gonna do the press together? I feel like they're probably not even gonna do the press together. Yeah, she's turning 30 this year.
They're
Shout
not
out to
gonna
Virgo.
ever give us that much, and I respect it. I deeply respect it. Maybe once they have some children, if they decide to continue to be in the public eye, because I remember Tom saying years ago, when I have kids, you ain't
He's
gonna
like,
never
I'm
see me
out.
again.
Yep.
Never gonna see me again. So we'll see. But she looked
Yeah,
fabulous, and I liked
she
it
looked
because the Euphoria
great.
stuff is messy. She ain't fucking with
So
Sydney,
messy.
so
She is not.
go
And
ahead
then
home.
um there's rumors that she had some issues with Stephen Levin. He's had issues with everybody though. Like I feel like there's probably so much drama that goes on behind the scenes
Well,
that
yeah,
it's
Barbie
like,
talked about that, with her
yes,
character. And rest in peace to Angus, rest in peace to Eric.
yes.
Ugh,
And then I don't know who's dressing Sydney because she didn't look that great. Like I felt like I understood what they were trying to do, but the execution was just not great.
the only purpose she served was to give Sierra that moment on that red carpet. That's the only
Listen.
purpose that she
And when
served
I
for me.
saw it this morning, I cackled. Shout out to Sierra. She's really great at her job on the red carpet, by the way. But she was like, y'all might as well get married now.
Gotta make it worth it.
If you're going to take your best friend's boyfriend, y'all better be together forever.
I am living for this moment, for this sense of humor. I've never watched a single episode of Summer House. You better believe I'm watching that reunion. Okay?
Oh,
I will
absolutely.
be seated
I'm
for
not
that
gonna lie, I
reunion.
didn't know what Summer House was. Like, I know my Bravo shows, but that was never on my radar. And I've
I was
actually
aware of it.
seen her. I actually knew who she was because, the way my algorithm is set up, I know about all the fabulous Black girls on the internet. You know what I mean? So I knew her from like doing some red carpets, having like a interesting sponsor here and there. But I didn't know she was originally reality TV. So
Do your thing, girl.
do your thing. All right, Ashley. And the final thing I want to talk about in headlines this week. This was a pleasant surprise. Okay. Vogue released the cover with Meryl Streep and Anna Wintour. The way I screamed, I was like, this is so iconic. Like, and of course, it was shot by Annie Leibovitz. I love the contrasting red, white, and blue. I love this this haircut with Meryl Streep. Like, they're both wearing the sunglasses. It's just fantastic. And then the fact that this is the first time Anna has ever been on the cover, like, to me, this is just the perfect mix of nostalgia and like just being just tongue in cheek and just rising to the moment. Like, this is just
I may get this
great.
cover framed. That's how much I love
That's
this
how
cover.
good it is.
I
This is how good it is.
I absolutely love the fact that this comes up at a time when we have been talking so much shit about Vogue not doing it well, not doing
For a
it
long
right.
time. Because when Edwin was over British Vogue, he was on Anna's neck. Okay. Like, he Beyonce, the last cover she did was with him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and so especially with Anna having a someone to succeed her, but also not giving them any power either.
Still being their overlord. Yeah, I'm so serious when I say I may get this framed. Like it's chef's kiss, it's perfection. No notes.
Edward Infeld. I said his name wrong, but yeah, I'm gonna have to pick it up too. And one thing about me, I'm here for a magazine. I used to collect them. Like, I say I used to. I have collections of like Issa on the cover, Serena on the cover, Zendaya on the cover, Beyonce on the cover, Michelle Obama. Like, David, when we moved, he was like, do you need these magazines? I'm like, I absolutely do. Thank you very much. I'm not going to get rid of them. Now, it's
Don't
been a
ask me any
minute.
more questions.
The last time I bought a magazine, Serena was on the cover of Time. And it was shortly after she gave birth to her first daughter, I think.
Something to be said for print. I mean, the fact that the next generation just won't know that satisfaction. And like you can ask people, I used to go to people's like houses or just visit and I get lost in a magazine. Like, I know I'm here to visit, but like I saw you have the latest, cover of Essence. So I'm just gonna sit here for an hour and just
Major
enjoy this
Essence
this
subscriber
essence,
for many
this
years.
ebony, this whatever. Yeah. I would still get subscriptions sent to my mom's house so she would enjoy them on my behalf when I've lived other places or been in college or whatever. Jet, guys, those were the days. You know what I
It
mean?
really
Like
was,
Jet Beauty of
especially
the
at a
Month.
that and like going to the hairdresser with the magazines too. That was a moment.
Yeah.
Um,
Still
I
some
was
still will have some
so
magazines.
particular with my magazines that I would let you borrow after I had gone through them first.
Mm.
Like, I'm like, I have to go through my very freshly printed magazine, and then I'll let you do your thing.
Iconic.
Man,
Iconic.
love, 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 love. All right, Ashley. Z is the main topic, I guess, of this episode because we had the wonderful opportunity to go see the drama together.
Hmm.
And I'm so glad that we got a chance to see it and we saw it without any spoilers. So shout out to us. But I'm going to go ahead and give a nice little spoiler alert as of right now
I did catch one
because
spoiler before we went, but
did
yeah, I
you?
just, I let it pass over me. It's fine.
Oh, okay. You're gonna have to tell me what it was.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna talk about the drama and we're gonna do a microdose. So Ashley, I kind of alluded to this. A24 don't believe in real love. I don't believe I don't trust it.
I think they're challenging the notion of what love has to be. Is it butterflies and fairy tales, or is it the nitty gritty reality? That's what they give us. They like, let's get into the shit of
And let's
life.
get into it. So, quick summary I'm looking from Google. It says a happily engaged couple get to put get put to the test when an unexpected revelation sends their wedding week off the rails. Um, of course, there's been all types of online chatter, and I remember distinctly sitting in the theater when I was able to identify who the true villain was. You know what I mean? Because for this movie, like they mentioned, it's the week of their wedding. They're sitting down with their best man and matron of honor, talking about getting drunk, getting ready for the wedding, and doling out their deepest, darkest secrets. And they just could not get over Zendaya's secret.
Yep.
Now, don't get me wrong. Her secret was pretty intense. She said that she was very close to wanting to do a mass shooting, and I think obviously this is horrific, and we live in America, and we have too many of those instances in our society. So much so that I don't even think we're keeping track of it the way it probably needs to be tracked. But at the end of the day, it was a thought that she had that she did prepare for, but she did not execute versus the things that they actually did.
Correct.
And the self-righteousness of Rachel,
Mm.
I was sick of her. Okay,
Girl.
Ashley,
Yep.
because her actual secret was that she put a disability boy in a closet in a trailer in the middle of the woods and lied about it.
And left him overnight. Was asked where he was by his father, said she didn't know. Imagine if for some reason he had some type of health crisis in there. Anything could have happened and he
Anything.
died. She lucked out that they found him the next day and he was okay and in one piece. So yeah, the audacity of the outrage in the film about Zendaya's thoughts that were not executed on versus that with her and Robert Pattinson's character cyberbullying a kid so bad that that kid had to switch schools. We talked about it following the film. Kids have committed suicide
Yes.
off of cyberbullying incidents, several incidents. And so the outrage with her, the going down this crazy rabbit hole with her particular scenario, yes, I understand the need to, talk about it, but the idea that hers was just so much more outrageous than theirs definitely became annoying and self-righteous after a point in time, especially to me. Like I told you after we watched it, it's not like her as a black woman or a black child or a black girl is the any type of norm that we've seen with school shootings. And so to not investigate further just on a human to human level, I know Rob was a bit of trying to say like, oh, well, that incident where you saw somebody get killed and whatever, whatever. But like deeper than that, like, hey, what what was the depression about that you're experiencing at that time? How was your relationship with your parents? How are you feeling now? Do you feel like you're in a better place? Do we need to get you into some therapy? Do you still ever have any type of thoughts about self-harm or harming others? Like, there was, to me, not enough concern about just her general mentality and well-being versus villainizing her. And that is what I
I
didn't
agree.
appreciate. And that's what really bothered me about Rachel, because Rachel, sitting in her privilege, is thinking more about the impact to a cousin who has absolutely nothing to do with this particular scenario, and trying to vilify Zendaya for that than to ever show her any type of compassion or understanding. So Rachel could kick rocks as
It's
far as I
like,
was concerned.
are why aren't they giving her the benefit of the doubt, especially because she was a teenager. Like,
She's
we are
15.
15 years old. They are adults when they meet her. You know what I mean? Now, is it disturbing? Absolutely. I'm not even negating that at all. But to your point, exactly. It's like, what was your environment like to make you get to that point? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I feel like they were so quick to disregard that from
And they
her.
literally said, sorry to interrupt you, they literally
Mhm.
said to Robert Pattinson the moment before, oh, you were 14 when that cyberbullying situation happened. Your brain hadn't even fully developed yet, and all this and that. So then the next
Again,
story, she's 1 year older, and suddenly, I can't believe you. You're a monster.
and then Robert Pattinson's character was spiraling like
Lost his shit.
crazy. I mean, I think,
He has OCD, I think.
or something. And then the fact that he, again, I don't know if it's a lack of accountability or if they were trying to show like someone almost doing something so it's not as bad than actually doing the thing. Because him and his colleague, he was literally about to, he lifted that woman's skirt up and was
Girl.
about to go for it.
She
Okay.
lifted her skirt up and said, go ahead and
Oh, well, that's true too. And the fact that she
plow
was so
down.
receptive was also crazy to me.
I didn't, yeah, that, I think it's like this jumble of the anxiety that comes with making this major life decision of getting married, and the
Yeah.
anxiety and all that that already comes with that. And then couple that with, we're a week away and it's this potentially like life altering, do I really know you revelatory
Mm-hmm.
moment. But the reason why I say I think he low key had OCD is because she told him, she was like, you fixate on things and you can't like let them go. And we see the
Mm,
deterioration he has so quickly where he
yeah.
literally cannot let that go. And I'm like, you may need to have some conversations as well about how to like flush some of this stuff out of your mind, because this woman who you've been dating for years, who you love, reveals one thing about herself from when she was 15, and suddenly you're having dreams about her murdering everybody at your wedding.
And then Mark had no spine. And again, I think it was a reflection of his big secret. You
Yeah.
know, wanting to hide behind somebody instead of taking, the accountability of protecting his then girlfriend from a freaking dog attack.
I also just think like Rob Pattinson's character was his friend, and by proxy, the girl, Zoe's
Yes.
is not Zoe. Zendaya's character is also his friend and all of that. So to me, it's one thing. I'm not saying he should have, suppressed his partner from her feelings, but there was a level of respect that I didn't appreciate was not being shown that needed to be nipped in the bud.
That
Like,
wedding speech
girl,
should have been cut off. But
sit
like, you
her
know
ass
what?
down
We're gonna wrap this up.
now. She would not have. There's a lot that I could say that I won't say on the mic today, but let me say this for sure. If I ever attend a wedding and somebody that I'm close to, there's even an inkling of disrespect, there's going to be some real problems. There's going to be some real problems. She was disrespectful with that speech.
And so the ending. A lot of people had issues with this ending, Ashley. Essentially, I feel like it was Emma's way of just saying, you know what, we'd be better off just starting over.
They had to. What else? Obviously, yeah. That man got headbutted at the wedding, looking like a crash victim coming up in that diner. Oh my God. He
Really
deserves that.
wish,
He did
yeah,
deserve that.
the hair, but oh yeah, I think all the pain he felt on his wedding day was deserved for sure. Um, I also feel like it shows a lot about Emma and her ability to like not necessarily recreate herself, but start anew, right? Like, okay, we're gonna turn this page and we're gonna do something different. I did wish there was some type of situation where she was just lying because they were drunk at that point when they were given their deepest, darkest secret. And then it would have just been like, oh, well, all of this spiraling and all this angst was not worth it. But we didn't get that payoff at all.
Again, what I
Um,
thought was going to be inevitably once we got to that diner scene, the big reveal was like they had never actually been together. That it was like when she walked past him, I was like, it was going to be that he had just imagined this whole thing and he had never had the courage to actually really
talk to
talk to her
her.
that day. And I
Yeah.
was like, that would have been a hell of a twist.
Yeah. But it was entertaining. I will say the ending I wanted more, but I did enjoy the journey. Like I as you mentioned before, it definitely had it was like a pressure cooker of all their relationships, right? And some people just could not handle the heat.
I hate that this was the memory that they'll have to live with, leading up to the wedding and day of the wedding and all this stuff. But hopefully, these crazy kids are able to figure it out because it seemed like before this, they really enjoyed each other. The fact that this man talked about their sex life during his vows is incredible. I do have to say, I loved her dress. I thought it was simple and
Yeah, she
beautiful,
wore it beautifully.
elegant.
I didn't like how he talked about their sex life because it you know, kind of is like, oh, black girl exotic, we have great sex. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
I think I didn't take his character to be that type. I took it as more like, I want to celebrate that, we're hot for each other. She's funny. Because he had written an incredible speech before,
yeah,
so much so his best friend cried, shed that little couple of
yeah,
tears. So it was a great speech that he had written and then questioned all of his life choices after the big reveal. But I will say that despite all of that, I did hope at the end that they could figure it out.
yeah, I agree. Now, do you think she's gonna forgive him though?
I
You think
do.
so? Yeah.
I do. Because I think, again, there's so much within their relationship that we haven't seen in the bond they obviously have that they want to get married. So I don't think these two things and the craziness of it is going to stop. I mean, he didn't sleep with the coworker and, so I think they'll make it through from that.
All right. Well, that's all I have for today, Ashley. What are we going to recap next week?
Yeah, so we are going to take it back to the Marvel universe and dip into Wonder Man, which has been renewed for a season 2, but we are going to recap season 1. We're going to be joined by a very special guest, Trey Brown, new friend to the pod, who we
Yeah.
met in the run up to our Oscar party that we threw. He came on and chatted with us about his thoughts as well about the series, his insights on, just the journey that we see Simon Williams, our protagonist, go through, and some of the thoughts and feedback for potential season 2. So, guys, come back for that. Excited to share it with you. In the meantime, please share this episode out with everybody you know. We appreciate it. Please do not forget to vote for us if you have not already.
Please,
We are
please,
nominated
please.
for the 2026 Women Podcasters Awards. You can vote one time. We are in the news and entertainment category. We will be back with that recap as we mentioned, but in the meantime, as always, be blessed.
Bye.